Greetings, this is Latin Deus, General of the Armies. This is a communique for Vladimir Putin, and all of the links in the chain of command of all of the chains of command I am in, not only as a member of chains of command, but also base concept of the ideas that create chains of command above having to express the concept as a physical term, such as communism of my military duty and orders. I always am and being. Pay attention to all stakeholders. Well, they have tracked the dirty bomb off the hot zone. The hot zone has gotten out of the initial ground zero nuclear strike radiation phase. The dirty bomb is achieving some nuclear heating with the hot bomb technology we have militarized through the non-military materials used in the dirty bombings that happened in DC. One of them right here, where that muck pile was I showed. And they brought out their illegal hit squads of those black flag industrial revolters who will never stop doing the black flag plan of the infamy of the creation of the black flag created plan of materials we black flagged over the plan when they went out of the spectrum of anything they could count as anything it was expressed as, except we knew their intent and motivation. So we've made these plans the way I'm discussing them. We brought out some sort of blower machine or something. Had some sort of power pack. It was in no way any sort of normal industry unit. It was the maximum strike weapon they could possibly build. It maybe looked like a welder jump pack worked over by like an ionic breeze, although that ceramic whatever is in no way what can do this. Way to actually just blow the dirty bombs, shrapnel, zone, radiated stuff, the actual physical matter, not even particular, the muck, they just blew that, they blew it all the way into the street, into the flow, into the river, so to speak. So, and I'm counting, so I'm talking this one out, and I have one more talk for the war games. It should probably recirculate around. I might actually be at the point it's about to recirculate around at me. If you bump some stuff around, maybe I should go beat my badge. I'm basically supposed to not to at this point around here. I was trying to get ahead of this and get a warning out to your side of reality of this type of life and danger I'm not part of about this. Anyhow, as I was talking about getting all the weapons under control, because you're in control of the wealth that demands it with an exchange system as if they could ever be exchanged instead of being things of a sole purpose only and completely. This could ever actually achieve this. I'll try to go ahead and just nullify any danger anyone has put themselves in or damage they've done to the positions we were at before the game. With my basic God's words, my sovereign ideas of God's sovereignty above going ahead and just blaming the TV character you'll never even find. When you're like a person that gets to just say that's just a TV character in your life, you'll never see them like the rest of them. No matter what way you get to it, it's on TV. You can't be. You tried. So you get all the weapons and then you take them all and you put them all in one place like the black hole we're going to make your new muck pit and just turn them to muck at. And instead we do this stupid thing like we're talking about Oregon. I'm mad. I don't really know what happened here. We got some muck going. It's not like this dirty bomb would actually even make one proper muck farm's worth of slamming down the stuff out there pretending to be what can be there. There's just some muck there. The muck pretending to be other stuff. So we get stuck in muck. Big stuff. Like a caterpillar. and instead turn it into some sort of technological idea. My money talk here about the postscript grade of most recent money talk, where you turn all of that technology, I'm sort of calling mobile technology, but I'm also just saying to get it all. It's actually not none of it's really like a permanent feature, those aren't our terms, and then make it immobile, and I almost want it like a permanent feature of nature. And you to play some sort of god stupid thing I'm playing here, where it all turns into like a stationary, powered up, idiotic numbers thing. Like it's just counts of electrons or something. That's if I do well enough and don't have to do even better and hit a multiplier, like there's a gestalt. You get to multiply the count beyond just the electrons of the weaponization, count of the nature of the new weapon I make, just smashing all these idiot ideas down. Electron counts and saying it's a stationary, all of those at once. It's immobile ones and pick it up. Everything we have where it does all that work and more they've ever done. Sort of hear the button being pressed. That's enough. There's no weapons design. I'll leave off these thoughts. Thoughts about the black flag stuff going on here, and that technology being about the top problem with our weaponized industry technology here, and the way we have to actually completely do away with our stage of technology. So we sort of never done, but sort of completely done with the Stone Age technology. We're just sort of had to get classified back as stone stuff and mountains with the right. And then actually turned into that the way it was supposed to be, that only instead of technology we still have that counts as weapons. Some of it was before it grew into a rocket gun or a boulder instead of something scary like an anvil from Loyalties. And there is this new stage of development here. It's basically I alone, you the reflection of these ideas, but in no way the threat. We at least have this situation of basically the complete confirmation from my reception zone of the measurements. I am espousing of the complete absolute adherence to absolute empiricism of the data I've collected, with them all being an absolute and always the same at every measurement I discussed as the topics. And I'll tell you what I've measured and observed here, this society will not be advancing. This society, this is a big point, this society absolutely has no ability to create a more advanced weapon system than anyone it has ever created. Almost for sure, but here, for sure, this threat here has absolutely no way to create a more advanced weapon system. With it almost surely being the case, it is this old reality, when you know the old stories, that this society will never advance beyond its and its alone creations of systems like weapon systems of their own in isolation as creations of theirs in isolation, or of their isolated ideas, not in isolation, almost even being in reality. Well, I just want to push this button. An idiot talk theory here about this advancement. We were pushing, but I'm just smashing this off like an idiot video game. I'm talking about building an engine as part of one of my systems. I forget it. Something like a weapons engine. It wasn't that. A reality creation changing engine, like one of my pieces of fiction, the Russia book about, and finally just having like a black box in the briny depths between Russia and USA. When I sort of ran my training out in a fictional story about running through the wars we prepared for. It's this education we've all had, but not fully gone through. trying to stop these things from being more. And here's the black box. You actually just go ahead, advance technology, don't advance technology, create a new threat. Now, I'm not even going to espouse the language barely does, except the language like I'm saying it. And you just take the, what do we have this encoded as? The work. You get the work abilities, except of the weapons, not the tools, of the state of the referenced items into a state. It's simply like a feature of a natural feature of reality, completely immobile, like a mountain, not something that you will call stationary, like something mobile, maybe mounted, or something to be compared to that, or in any way that, but actually just this idea of all the weapons in theory you could ever have being completely immobile, and then pushing it around, making them more of a permanent feature, like a mountain as a natural feature. And applying it to the context I'm applying it to, and working over these numbers we need to know of the reality of it, all in one homogenized zone of all this as one permanent feature of reality. To go ahead and finish off this last part of this war game scenario I'm trying to push around at this drill, with it needing to be clear at this point, I'm seeing signs it is, but I haven't seen it reflect into my media stream. If there is no economic means to control what this equation of this procedure is trying to control, and in the confirmation from what needs to be controlled, they can, that there is elemental nature still in this reality of a situation broken to a state of false narrative, or at least false reference, such that terms cannot be reached. Terms will still be reached completely clear without simple route repetition at the core case, as the term here in this conclusion I've used already, leading to it, is the offending ideas in their artifact form, basically weapons I'm discussing. While pushing around the term weapons itself, because of this state of being unable to reach a valid conclusion using the term, makes the conclusion that if you can't economically control the elements that are supposed to be what compose the weapons and have it translate into dollar and cents terms with a complete empirically absolute confirmation, standard weapons design that is ethical in any way, shape, or term as a valid conclusion of it, in highest theory, guarantee some of these weapons are sole purpose one use, completely predestined creations. And if there is no economic means of control as the term of weapons on these terms using weapons itself, as the term in flux, to end this, there is no economy. There is no economic means. War is not the term. These are not weapons. This is a natural feature of a permanent fixture that is an idea more than elements, but an elemental nature issue, where over the complete, only an absolute state of everything being measured within the loose term of weapons being controlled, having no way to reach this or any conclusion by economic terms as weapons is based on. With the condition, we can only confirm the way it basically absolutely confirms. It's the only condition left standing when we can actually have a valid conclusion that these are referenced artifacts. By the hypothesis confirmed with its logic, like its conditions operators of the definitions, we're trying to just control so it doesn't have to be a logical proof equation of a fact, not normally an individual fact. The weapons to control are in higher, simpler level terms. They are something for a sole purpose, with the sole purpose almost clearly only and completely defined within the valid conclusion. The artifacts exist with this fact of this logical proof at its nature of its conditions as and as alone. Woo! Woo! Yeah, that was a good one. Now this is Looney Tunes. Wow! It's like I just went through it's like I just went through every black flag attack as represented by anything ever on TV, representing it all at once in that break, trying to get this in a row with this last term of their sole purpose being uncontrollable code violation of harm, except by complete absolute enforcement of removal from physical existence. So those are basically the strike orders. So I actually just went through the maximum. So with what just happened here, I almost have completely confirmed there is not a living thought of language that could have actually been through what just happened to stifle my thoughts on those last 10 words I had such a problem with over the time period. This just went on so powerfully to speaking in Orkin Man's or Black Flag. Every bug can kill everything in existence ever they've tried to plan. Not a thing that counts as being in daylight right now could have even had a thought during it, or be existing now as a life form. That was alive before that. Anyhow, besiegement of the strike orders, and absolutely, please, while I want this feedback on this, get this requested old school feedback to me about the skull and crossbones while we got the terms of these Black Flag and Orkin commercials or the cartoons or whatever, so that we all, in all existence, can, and I would prefer before everything in existence changes by the nuclear strike we design, so no matter what, everyone in all reality has to admit the nuclear strike has happened as we planned. it can only occur if it is in any way admitted as part of what it is. Let's try to make this situation I have here that should be that there is absolutely no life and absolutely no living thought here except what I just said. Like was proven across the course of this video. This one was more like a half an hour. I wonder if I'm pushing to 45 minutes with the break at the end here. Like it just turned into the worst football game ever across the, maybe I could make this 30 to 2 minutes, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. But please, all right, I request, beseech, good luck.